So Monday, which means we're in a new series. And I shared last week when we did our sacred series that I got a lot of response regarding the sacred relationship that I did on Thursday. And then on Friday, we talked about spiritual partnerships in the context of sacred relationship. And that I felt a little tingly about that and was going to decide if I was going to continue with that this week. And guess what? I am. So all of you who DM me to please keep the spiritual partnership conversation going. I'm going to give you sips of it, just sips. So if you want to go deeper, I'm here to be of service. You can do your work. You can do your work in spiritual partnership. It requires your conscious attention and your conscious intention. So let's get into spiritual partnership. And the wonderful thing about last week's sacred series is that unbeknownst to me at the time, but God knows, every single day was really building the foundation for this conversation about spiritual partnership. Spiritual pause. Lord knows when we're in spiritual relationships that we need to take a pause, right, before we speak our sacred words, because we know our tongues are creative, right? And we want to speak with a conscious tongue. And then our sacred work, is your spiritual partnership in tune with that which is your divine assignment or not? And then sacred relationships. So here we are in spiritual partnerships. I'm so happy to see all of you jumping on with me this morning. Peace and blessings to you. So let's talk about spiritual partnership. Okay. So I want to share, of course, something that I experience often being an interfaith minister, when I do premarital counseling with couples before I agree 100% to perform their ceremony. And some flags that I see are when people start talking about how someone else completes them, right? And that how they need this person to feel, good about themselves. Those are usually flags that there is some internal work that needs to get done. And they're bringing that relationship in, they're bringing that unrealistic expectation into their marriage if you think that someone else is completing you. Because the truth is that we are already complete, that we are already whole. But that might not be your personal reality. And if that's not your personal reality, then you have work to do. You have work to do. So it's information for you to know about before stepping into a sacred partnership or in a marriage. Okay? So I just wanted to make that distinction because I hear that often, like this idea that there's this one person that's right for you. Be right for yourself. Be right for yourself. And when you're right for yourself, you will attract that which is right for you, right? Because we're magnetizing that which we are. We're magnetizing that which we are. So get yourself right and you'll attract that which reflects where you are in consciousness. Okay, so spiritual partnership. So I want to read from Seed of the Soul, Gary Zukav. I read from this book on Friday. If you are interested in exploring yourself and exploring consciousness and exploring what we're doing here, this is a great book to guide you through that. It's so wonderful. I said it's part of my top 3 books, and it is. So this is what Gary has to say about spiritual partnerships. The underlying premise of a spiritual partnership is a sacred commitment between the partners to assist each other's spiritual growth. So we talked about that on Friday, right? Spiritual partnership is a commitment to each other's spiritual growth. Spiritual partners recognize their equality. So it's not about someone completing me. It's about equality, right? Spiritual partners are able to distinguish personality from soul, and therefore they are able to discuss the dynamics between them, their interactions, on a less emotionally bound ground than husbands and wives. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. That ground does not exist within the consciousness of marriage. It exists only within the consciousness of spiritual partnership, because spiritual partners are able to see clearly that there is indeed a deeper reason why they are together. And that reason has to do with the evolution of their souls. The evolution of their soul. So let me speak just a moment about what Gary is talking about when he mentions the consciousness of marriage, right? So I'm married. I've been married for 18 years, right? And so the archetype for marriage used to be for, physical survival, for property, all that stuff that was the archetype for marriage. And it was a consciousness around that. And that consciousness still exists today. People get married for a whole host of reasons. And if one of those reasons does not include a consciousness of spiritual partnership, then you're not in a spiritual partnership. You can be married and be in a spiritual partnership because you have a consciousness of spiritual partnership. You have a consciousness that is committed in your spiritual growth, your conscious evolution together. So I don't want anyone to come away from this thinking, oh, Rev Melissa said, marriage is not the way to go. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is be aware of the consciousness of your relationship in marriage and not in marriage. A consciousness of spiritual relationship is grounded in spiritual growth. Okay? So in that spiritual growth, stuff comes up. And it's recognizing that the stuff that is coming up that needs your attention for healing or for revealing of the healing is an opportunity for you to take and make a conscious choice about how you're going to show up in that relationship. Because in relationship, that's how we learn and that's how we see the things that we need to work on within ourselves. And we can choose to do so in love or in fear. We can choose to do so by making the other person wrong or by recognizing that we are in a spiritual relationship. This person is committed to my spiritual growth. And so I need to look at this within myself. This has nothing to do with the other person. This has everything to do with my evolution of consciousness and my spiritual growth. Okay? So this is day one. Tomorrow, we're going to continue on this journey of spiritual partnership. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say about this. Just to emphasize responsible choice. It's consciously choosing to speak in love, even when you're feeling frightened, upset, angry, all that's going on with the personality, right? Making a responsible choice to speak in love. And that can require a sacred pause because you're getting ready to use your sacred words. And you want those words that you are speaking that are creative to speak in love. To speak in love. So whatever is going on within you, do your work. And your partner is there to support you in doing your work because they are committed to your spiritual growth. And in your partnership, you are committed to evolving in consciousness together. So be responsible. And responsible is all about the ability to respond in love. And when you can't do that, go within. Take a pause. Practice your spiritual practices. Okay? So this is all good news. All good news. And we're going to continue tomorrow. Today, you know I had to rock love. I had to rock love today. Love all over the place. Love all over the place. Love all over your relationships. Love all over your consciousness. Love, 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 love. So love yourself. Love your partners. Love life itself, because love itself loves you. So peace and blessings. Thank you all for being with me today. I see you, Patricia, Vanessa, Pastor Al, Tunde, Mommy, hey, Jeffrey, Sekou, Hazel, hey, girl. Peace and blessings to you all. Please share. And thank you all for the watch parties. I really appreciate it. So have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow.